Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Flavor of the Week, brought to you by Banditos, fresh, made daily. In Flavor of the Week, Kyle sits down with one of our local priests over 4 different episodes to sample variations of a favorite food or drink while they discuss the ins and outs of life as a priest.
Welcome to Flavor of the Week Part 2, brought to you by Banditos. Try one of their 5 locations. I'm Kyle Hyman, here with Father Terry Coonan.
Hello, everyone.
Trying some cheese. Last week we did the Fontina Valdosta, a very smelly style raw cow, it was called.
Yeah.
Smelly cheese, potent.
Yes.
You gave it an 8.
Yes, it was very flavorful. We enjoyed the taste of it, but I was afraid it might affect my other foods in the refrigerator.
How many people do you think wouldn't even try it?
A lot of people.
Or would definitely not like it if
a lot of people would be deterred by the smell of it.
Yeah.
You know. But other people, those people who know their cheese, they know.
Yeah.
Smell is one thing, taste is another.
All right, which cheese are we doing now?
Okay, so I want to go with the goat gouda cheese that was aged. Does that say 24 months?
Or
That
it does look like 24 months.
that is unbelievable. Wow.
2-year-old cheese.
That's going to be strong. I can only imagine. So let's give it a go.
All right.
Cut some good slices here.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, wow.
Dutch goat gouda.
Yeah, that's really high on my list right now.
How would you describe the texture?
Okay. It's a really milky texture, smooth, and it has little salt crystals in it that you can kind of crunch on. That's great. Love it. And it's definitely firmer than, some cheeses. It's not like a super soft cheese, but it really kind of melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is good.
You could almost spread it on a cracker.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, if you warmed it up a little more, it probably would work. It's great. Yeah, that one's probably going to be my favorite.
That's going to be the favorite?
Probably.
We do have the...
that goat gouda is really good.
Yeah.
That's 24 months, right?
4 months.
Oh, 4 months. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was 24.
Approximately 4 months.
Oh, about 4 months.
Approximately
Yeah,
4
that's why I was wondering
months.
if that was the squiggle thing.
So you have goat cheese and you have Gouda cheese.
Right. And, Gouda cheese probably is normally not made with goat's
Right.
milk. This is my guess.
I feel like there's a lot to be learned about cheeses.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Last week we talked about your discernment process, the role that youth group played into it, your brother kind of discerning at the same time as you were, unbeknownst to you.
Yes and no, yeah. I mean, I sort of knew that he was thinking about it. But also, we did it very parallel, very separate. We were physically separate because I was at college.
A ton of Catholic families pray that one of their boys becomes a priest someday.
Yes.
Right?
And sometimes that prayer is not answered in the way that they would expect.
Right. A lot of times it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Was there something different about your family that was able to nurture 2 priests?
Yeah. The only thing I can say is, from all external things, no, not really. But there were a lot of prayers from, especially my grandmas. Both my grandmas were prayer warriors. And I know my dad's mom, Grandma Dolly, always wanted one of her boys to be a priest. She had a large family too, like mine. And yeah, she would pray for that, and she never got that. My dad was in seminary for a couple of years, the high school seminary that we used to have on Lake Wawasee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was there for like freshman and sophomore year of high school. And then, he just said, nah, this isn't for me. And I'm very grateful he said that, right? Obviously. So are my siblings, I'm sure.
Worked out for you.
Yeah. So Grandma's prayer was not answered the way that she wanted, but it was answered in some ways a more beautiful way. She was able to say the day we were ordained, after we got out of the church as new priests, she said, I'm just so thankful to the good Lord for having, let me live to see this moment.
Yeah.
So we're both close to their 90s, I think, and so they could have gone home to God earlier. She was very grateful that God gave her 2 grandsons instead of one of her sons.
Yeah. I've got 3 boys. We've got a baby on the way. Don't know if it's going to be a boy or girl, but I often think about that. Like, I don't want to be, pressure them
Right.
into a calling that they're not being called to. But at the same time, I want to encourage them to be open to it. Do you think that your family, or maybe just circumstances within the parish or something like that, was especially made some good choices as far as how to guide you into discernment?
I think it was more just the circumstances of just being at St. Vincent de Paul Parish when we were. So we had witnesses before us of our parish priests who were happy in their priesthood. We have one picture I remember of Father John Kuzmic over at our house, like playing cards with us. And
Did you have priests come often to the house?
No, not super often.
Okay.
But, we always kind of would chat with them after Mass or over at Coffee and Donuts and things like that, and be in the school with them, see the priests all the time, as altar servers too, before Mass and stuff like that. So we could see the very human side of the priesthood, but they witnessed to us ultimately of happiness and joy from all that we could see, and that is the strongest, witness you can give to, kind of promote the priesthood, is just to be happy as a priest and enjoy your priesthood. So that was powerful for us. It was the most important thing, I think, was that. Other things, too, that helped in the parish were the youth group, for sure. We actually have not just my brother and I, but other priests in our diocese and religious orders, etc., who are from that parish and connected with that youth group in a strong way. So thanks be to God for the way that's been working and building up. I think another thing, one of the reasons that youth group is healthy and strong is just the way that Monsignor Kuzmic fostered adult faith formation and faith communities. So the Christ Renews His Parish program would be like a retreat. They would get people in the parish to go on, and then after the retreat was done, he would encourage those people to sort of keep a faith community together, just meet together once a week or every other week or something like that, and do prayer, stuff like that. So that kind of strengthened the sort of small community cells within the big parish and helped the overall health of families. So I think that was a big factor for the health of the parish and why maybe some vocations are coming there.
Yeah. We're talking with Father Terry Coonan here for Flavor of the Week Part 2 as we try some Dutch goat gouda that has been aged for 4 months.
Yeah, that was really good. So we're going to have some more of that.
Yeah, let's do it. We've also got a little bit of bread here and some olives. This is I feel very fancy right now.
Yeah, the cheese is definitely that fancy. I wonder what the bill's going to be when we're done.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, the bread was only $1, so we know we're good there.
Day old bread.
Yeah.
That is good.
I really like this one.
Mild flavor, kind of like nothing too harsh or.
Yeah.
I guess it's strong.
It starts soft.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It kind of slowly builds.
Yeah.
Because of that milkiness of it at first, as it melts. Yeah, and all these cheeses, they were too cold to start, so they needed to kind of warm up a little.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you were supposed to have cheese a little warm.
Closer to room temperature. This is like, they were close to freezing in the storage display case, so yeah.
All right, so you've mentioned how the youth group has inspired you, helped you in your faith, and others as well.
Right.
What are you doing at your parish to create that kind of an atmosphere for the next generation? So
one thing in our parish that hasn't been happening for a long while is an adult retreat program. So I'm trying to work to build up an adult retreat program at the parish. And hopefully that these first retreats in the fall will garner good interest and people will really answer that call. And it will build from there.
Is there
Sometimes
a particular
it takes
style that you're using?
We're using Christ Renews His Parish as well. Yeah, so Christ Renews His Parish is going to be at our parish for the first time in, I think, ever. Okay. The parish is, like, old.
Yeah.
So
is that something that you did before becoming a priest? Did you go through that?
I did not.
Okay.
My older brother did, and my parents did, but I never did. Huh. Yeah. I was, still in college when I went into seminary, so usually you don't go on the retreat until you're in college or beyond, usually after, because you're back in the area. I actually, when I was in high school in the youth group, they invited me as a teenager to give a talk. So they always kind of have a teenager give a talk at the retreat.
At the adult retreat?
At the adult retreat.
Oh.
So they kind of ask someone specifically, like the pastor will ask someone. So he asked me one time to do that. So I went and did that. Yeah.
What did you talk about?
It was about like the Eucharist and just the impact of the Eucharist in your own life and what it means to you.
Why did they want a teen to give that talk?
I don't know. I think for some reason it just kind of hits. This was a men's only retreat, so I think it's maybe something powerful for the men to look and see a young man who's just cares about his faith and is really into it, strong believer. So maybe that was it.
So this is starting Christ Renews His Parish at your parish.
Yeah,
as a way to strengthen
foster
families
by
strengthening the adults.
Exactly.
Are you doing things to kind of mimic what you benefited from at St. Vincent's with the youth group?
With the youth group specifically?
Yeah.
Well, youth group ministry has adapted to some degree since my time.
Mm-hmm. Well, the world has changed, right?
Yeah, very much so. So with like technology differences, kids kind of network in different ways.
Yeah.
And
you can't assume that something that worked 10, 15 years ago is going to work with youth today.
Yeah, the numbers for most youth groups, like Sunday meetings, like a weekly meeting, the numbers are kind of diminishing, I think, pretty much across the United States. On the whole, for sure. And probably 80 or 90% of them are shrinking, those numbers. Maybe some of them are holding steady. But, so that's part of it. So that's kind of changing a little bit. This Why Disciple thing is a newer idea to kind of respond to those changes. Mm-hmm. So fostering young, small groups, like intentional faith communities or whatever, kind of a brotherhood and a sisterhood, So we're doing that, and I think we are seeing some fruit from it already, but I think it's one of those things that snowballs, and it just slowly builds and gets really strong. And what matters about it is that even if you have less numbers, you're really creating strong faith, strong disciples. So that's one of the ways that we're doing the youth group, kind of adapting to what the needs are nowadays.
Yeah, having huge numbers of partially inspired people is not maybe as effective as small numbers of really inspired people that are then going to share that and
who have the tools necessary in order to bring others in, and to support others in their faith. So that's what I see as a really, really good sign, or a good thing that could be happening. All
right. Well, we're running out of time here. So what do you give the Dutch goat gouda 4 months?
Yeah, this
cheese.
This cheese is right up my alley. Probably going to give that a 9.5.
Wow.
Just in case there's something better, but I don't know if there is.
The Fontina was 8.
That was an 8.
The Dutch goat gouda is a 9.5.
Yeah, that is yummy.
All right. Well, we'll have to see. We've got some blue cheese and some kind of a pepper.
Spicy cheddar.
English
cheddar.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that compares.
Yeah.
I like spicy myself, so
yeah,
we'll have to see.
I do too.
Well, our special thanks to Banditos for underwriting this Flavor of the Week. Check out one of their 5 locations, Banditos, fresh, made daily. And thanks also to Father Terry Coonan. Join us next time for more.
All right.
From Father Terry.
Bye-bye.